There are many teams that are no longer in the playoffs, and thus we have the rumors that are going to be round and round and round as we are entering the NBA offseason. And one of those revolves around LA Clippers big man DeAndre Jordan, who might not be with the team anymore. Jayar Jackson, Denise Jones, Brett Erlich, Rick Strom with you. According to one source, Jordan was in the ears of multiple Rockets players throughout this past season, expressing his desire to play in his hometown. He went to Texas A&M as well, guys. The source also detailed the events surrounding the infamous Clippers-Rockets post-game locker room altercation, which was also a Game of Zones episode. According to the source, after the altercation, Jordan spoke to multiple Rockets players on the team bus, citing frustration with the Clippers organization and a strong desire to leave. My question is, seeing the contracts for the Houston Rockets, they want to keep Clint Capela. He's entering free agency via Basketball Reference, as you're going to see here in just a moment. He's young, he's improving. But still, you have a decision to make because Chris Paul wants to stay with the team, but then as Denise and I discussed this past week, he wants the max, which we're in agreement.
Is not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. And then if you compare the two, my question is, who would you rather have? Would you rather get DeAndre Jordan or would you rather stick with Clint Capela?
I want DeAndre.
Really?
Why? Especially if you're keeping Chris Paul, because he played with him. He made DeAndre an all-star. You bring him back in, that's another feel and a comfort zone that your now star, future Hall of Famer point guard has, and it maybe creates this other energy dynamic of the team. It would be horrible to lose Clint Capela, because then, look, DeAndre's older, but he's not like he's old.
I completely disagree with that.
I hear you, but you know what? You brought in Chris Paul. The man, like, during the season, even without that Clippers debacle and the fight, potential fight in the locker room and everything, they talked to Chris Paul after Blake Griffin was sent out of town, and you could tell Blake Griffin and he don't like each other. And Chris Paul's like, oh yeah, man, I talk to DeAndre all the time. They're still buddies. They talk all the time. There's an energy and a dynamic to a team you have to have that I think puts you over certain humps. You don't just go by numbers and age, but sometimes you need guys that really coalesce in the locker room and it works out for
you. All right, so let me ask you a question then. In the Western Conference, you're chasing who?
The Warriors.
Who do they start at the 5?
The Warriors? Anybody they want?
Right. It's like, I remember that.
For a majority of the season, until they had to play Cleveland, who start 2 bigs, who did they start at the 5?
Is it JaVale?
Draymond.
Or is it Draymond?
They started Draymond.
At the 5. But
Looney.
that's the thing, is
Looney.
like,
They started doing the playoffs at one point, Looney.
Yeah.
Draymond would kill DeAndre Jordan.
In what aspect? DeAndre is also another. He's another captain of a defense. The way they say DeAndre is so useful for the defense and for the Warriors, DeAndre's the same way.
You know what?
Just because he's not like a 6'10" 3-point shooting center doesn't mean he's not useful.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Defensively, you have to find a way to add foot speed to the 5. You need a modern day 5. DeAndre Jordan is the complete opposite of that.
DeAndre Jordan doesn't move on defense?
No.
You need to watch the
roll tape.
Let me ask you a question. When they switch, as every team does in the playoffs, we saw it, by the way, with LeBron having the dumbest switch that I've ever seen with Durant hitting a 30-footer. Which is a different story. If they were to run those same plays, you're telling me that DeAndre Jordan wouldn't get cooked as much as Clint Capela did? I think it would be infinitely more than anything Clint Capela did. He's younger, more athletic, can stay with a guy like Klay Thompson more so than DeAndre Jordan can, and we've seen it in the playoffs.
I'm not saying that he's going to guard a guard out on the 3-point line.
Right, but that's what happens.
You got to show.
You need, how many layups, how many uncontested dump to the basket layups have we seen by the Warriors this postseason?
Well, that's Cleveland.
Constant.
That's Cleveland.
They did
Didn't we do this yesterday? 18 and 21 in Game 3.
They're doing it worse to Cleveland.
So Cleveland's not getting DeAndre, even though they probably should have. They should have made that trade, and then we'd see
the trade that needs to get made is trading good teams from the West to the East. Carve it out. Carve it out. Stop playing in the East.
Carve it out.
Far East. Carve it out. Send friggin' some crappy team over to the West now. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to spend 19 more minutes in the plane most of the time.
So you want to send the Bulls to the West?
I want to send the Bulls to the West. I want to send the Rockets in the West. I want to send them to the East.
I can't believe you just asked that question.
I got confused. It was more of a second guess than a question asking. I was like, damn, because they're on the east side of Texas. They're on the Gulf.
They're on the east side of Texas.
This is one of those agreements where it doesn't mean the other one sucks. It's like the Jordan LeBron thing. Just because you say, oh, I think LeBron's the greatest of all time, it doesn't mean you think Jordan sucks. Just because I think DeAndre would fit well with the Rockets over Clint Capela doesn't mean Clint Capela sucks. It just means I think that would work.
Of course, we're not saying that. We're not saying that at all. I'm saying if you had to play switching defense and you had to have any of the Warriors' 4-star players, any one of them, who would I rather have guarding them? Clint Capela or DeAndre Jordan? I'd rather have Clint Capela at this stage.
And then honestly, how much is Clint Capela on the floor when they really need to guard these guys in crunch time situations?
Okay, when you pulled up the first graphic, you had graphs where bringing DeAndre would have DeAndre has better assists and better rebounds than Capela, and then Capela has better steals, blocks, and points, or more points, slightly more points. My question, or what I'd like to know is what is Houston struggling the most with? And that would answer my question as far as who they would bring. Because if they're not really struggling with rebounds and assists, and here comes DeAndre, and yeah, that's his strength, it's not going to make too much of a difference because they're so similar in play. And though I do agree with your point where, yes, Chris Paul has played with DeAndre and he did make him a better player. You know, DeAndre played on his own. It's not guaranteed that he's going to bring that same
Whoa. You're dogging Austin Rivers?
Play on his own. Like I was saying. There's no guarantee that he's going to bring that same energy that he once had when he was playing with CP3 with the Clippers.
If I may answer your question, not a cop-out, but just the honest answer. They're a great team. The Houston Rockets are. The Warriors are just better. Like they had a great team this year. They ran into Golden State.
They're
ran
struggling
into
with being in the West and move them to the East.
Think about it, man. And they're centered around this three-point shooting or just scoring. The Rockets are, right? Imagine if you had a guy who gives you more chances, more possessions a game. That's what rebounds do for you. Or it eliminates other guys from scoring when you need to score 125 points instead of 130. You know? So, I mean, vice versa. 130 versus 125. That's just that many more chances for your guys like Harden and your other shooters that sit around the three-point line all day to have those opportunities. The downside, which eliminates something with DeAndre, is there's the Haka rule thing.
Totally.
It's gonna hurt you.
Well, they've limited it a little bit, but still it's a problem.
It's gonna hurt you.
My question to you is, but anybody here, is that would you then say that you want more DeAndre Jordan? Let's say they go with DeAndre. Basically, what I heard from Jayar is they need less three-point shooting and more big. Is that what I'm hearing?
He provides more opportunities.
No, I understand that. So then the unnatural starting lineup, rather the unnatural rotation that they had with no natural five. You're saying put in a natural five and take away one guy. Take out an Eric Gordon. Trevor Reese is probably going to be gone, so they're going to sign someone else. Take out that guy and put in DeAndre.
Well, no,
that's what you're saying?
Is Clint Capela not a center? You know, he's a center.
He's a center in this day and age.
Right, so I think he's kind of a traditional center. It's just DeAndre's more so because he's not as quick, but he's not lumbering either. He's, he's not
more lumbering than Capela though, because he has like 50 pounds on him.
I said they take the Houston out of the West. They won the West, but their struggle this year was Chris Paul's hamstring.
Yeah,
it's true.
On one play.
Yes.
This is the only reason I would switch Capela out, someone who's strong in the future, for DeAndre, is how bad I feel for DeAndre that all his friends are dead. Like nobody's there anymore.
And there it is.
Just,
and there's the Brett comment of the show.
Remember that off season when he was almost in Dallas?
Yeah.
And they went and rescued him, played cards all night, and locked him in the house?
And that's why he's so desperate.
And then he went back because of that. I felt bad from this whole season. I didn't even mention this out loud. When they all went to Dallas or Houston, wherever and locked him in the house, played cards all night, and teased Dallas like we got your boy.
They teased Mark Cuban.
Directly.
Mark Cuban was running around the city.
Exactly, but that's the kind of thing. It's like those are his friends, and when you play with your friends, sometimes you just play a little better, or you give more to it.
Yeah.
So there's that small thing.
There's more trust.
Yeah, and so he went back to LA for that, and they all left him.
Yeah, they did.
It's so bad.
Rough go for the Clippers, by the way. They lose Chris Paul. They lose Blake Griffin. They're going to lose DeAndre Jordan because he's like, nah, I want to go to a winner.
Yeah, it's time to start over.
So in the span of less than 365 days, you are losing your 3 stars for the last 6+ seasons. And your draft picks are 12 and 13.
But you know what? No, but you know what you do? You're still in LA. All these free agents are trying to come to LA.
Yeah, but you're the ugly stepchild of LA.
But you have the more attractive coach.
Denise literally just went, that's right. They are
Just
the ugly
saying,
stepchild.
they are. But you have more. You have to play. You have to play what you have.
It's not enough of an incentive. They're not really in LA. They're not playing for LA. They are in LA technically, but they're not
Pay
playing
them money
for LA.
and have them play for a guy who's won a championship
Let me
versus
ask
the
you a
guy who's
question
just
then.
starting. They might want to do
If
it.
they are, they're in
I'm, like,
LA,
messing
right?
with this.
I'm now going to do this. They're in LA. Why haven't they signed any other big name free agents if they're in LA? We have
in recent history.
the Clippers. No, not recent history, obviously, because David Stern helped out that entire process, as we know.
Still bitter.
It was Stern's orders. You're still what?
Still bitter.
Don't
Very.
be. Don't be. You're about to get LeBron. Who cares?
Yeah, fingers crossed on that. I'll take it.
So my point
Very
is,
scared.
you've had the Clippers in LA. Granted, they had the most racist ass owner for years. If we are going from a historical context, the last star that you could name that came up with the Clippers was like a fake star, no offense, in Darius Miles and Corey Maggette and that team. So if they have
You
the
said this
lure,
last star they had.
the last well-known Clipper. Just
Before
follow me here.
this.
Why haven't they signed other huge name free agents if they are in LA? The Clippers have been bad ever since Chris Paul came to town.
They've been bad since he came or since he left.
No. Prior to. My question is, for the Clippers being here, they're in LA. Why haven't they signed any other big name free agents prior to the Chris Paul?
Because they're
tenure?
named after
Prior
a
to
ship.
that stuff, it's
Be named after a lake. I don't know.
it's the historic nature of a team. The coaches you have there. I'm saying this situation right now, you have a better chance. You couldn't do it before because you're the redheaded stepchild.
Yep.
You're the guy with you're the team with the coach that isn't as big of a name as what the Lakers have. They have the history, the name, and the coaches. You have two of those right now on them. You have the better named coach. You're also in LA still, and they're kind of
You are. I just
trying
don't
to
know why
develop
anyone
something
doesn't want to
else right
sign
now.
with them.
History. Because everyone still wants the Lakers
Yes.
to be the Lakers again and have faith that they
Sure.
will.
That's all the
because
Lakers
we
have
went
right
through
now.
those Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel years. And
Don't dog Van Exel. He was. Dog.
but they were the years.
They
Those
were.
were years where you were
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, Sedale. And then, see? Like, I love you, but I
Yeah.
just want us to be good again.
Yeah.
And then they came back.
Yeah.
And it's happened more than once. And that's what we hope. And no matter how much you go, well, it's the same building, it's the Clippers.
It's not LA.
hey, Jerry Buss ain't here anymore.
I know,
saying.
but
Genie
that's
is.
still, but yeah, and we had Short Bus, Jimmy Short Bus.
That joke didn't age well.
I love that joke, and I'm sticking with it. I sign up.
You dropped that. You dropped that 5 years ago on me,
5
and you're
years
still
ago on
using
you.
it.
I just
We
remember.
were at Current TV, and you're still using the
right?
same joke.
I mean, and it's gotten
Hey, it
less
still
and
works.
less okay to make as
Completely.
the social justice discuss and a good thing. And now I apologize.
On that note, we have more to come. I don't know why I'm teasing. I don't have to. Comment below, and yeah, we'll do the damn thing again.